Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video we are going to be learning how to make a single welt pocket. I don't know if you have come across this rectangular stylish pocket that you see on the back of the trouser, or your blazer jacket or bomber jacket, or even your corporate trouser. That is what we are going to be looking into today. So we have two types of welt pocket. We have the single and the double welt pocket, but for today's tutorial we are going to be making a single welt pocket. Now this process is applicable to making a double welt pocket also, only that for the double welt pocket you're going to be having two welt strip. Okay, so now this black fabric is going to be representing our jackets, trouser, or wherever you want to insert this welt pocket. Now I'm going to be making it into a straight welt pocket. If you are making it into a bomber jacket, it might be diagonal. Okay, so I'm going to show you right away how it should be in case you want to make it into a bomber jacket. So that is how you should place it, but today we are going to be making it a straight welt pocket. Now I want the width of my welt pocket to be 5 inches. Since I want the width of my welt to be 5 inches, that means my welt pocket, that is my welt pocket bag, and the welt strip should be 1 inch wider than that of what I have on the fabric. So if I measure it down, you're going to see that I have 6 inches right here, meaning that that 1 inch is going to be my seam allowance. So I should have half an inch seam allowance on both ends, just as I'm showing you right now. So I've also gone ahead to use an interface to fuse into my pocket bag and my welt strip. And for your welt strip, if you're cutting it out, you should cut it out on fold. Now for the depth of your welt strip, before you cut it out, you have to consider how visible you want your welt pocket to look. So in my case, I made use of 3/4 of an inch because I want my welt pocket to be visible by half an inch. So what I'm going to do right now is, from the center of the line that I made on the fabric, I'm going to mark out 1/4 of an inch on both sides, so which is what I'm trying to mark out right now. This is because I want my welt pocket to be visible by half an inch, which I've explained. So that's why I'm coming down by 1/4 of an inch on both sides. But then if you want it to be 1 inch visible, in that case your line should be marked at half an inch on both sides, and then your welt strip should also be 1.25 inches long. But for this one, I want it to be visible by half an inch. I hope you guys understand. So what I'm going to do next is to bring in my pocket bag and then my welt strip, and I'm going to go over to my iron and iron out about 1/4 of an inch, which is where I'm going to sew this in. So that is what I'm trying to fold in. I've already gone to iron it on my ironing table. Okay, and also for the pocket bag, I've also gone ahead to press down about 1/4 of an inch, so meaning that I'm going to place this on that particular line that I just marked out on my fabric, in and out. So meaning that I'm going to sew this about 1/4 of an inch away from that line. Okay, so you can see the way I'm using my biro to mark it out so that I won't make any mistake. You know that we have a middle line in there. So I'm not going to be sewing on the middle line, and your strip, that is the welt strip, should be facing downward if you are sewing on a trouser, because your hand should be entering downward, and then the pocket bag should be facing upward. Okay, so and I'm going to sew in such a way that I'm not going to exceed that 5 inches wideness that I marked out. So half an inch seam allowance should come out after I sew this. Okay, so you can see what I have there. You can see that is what I'm actually trying to show you guys right now. So after I did this, I should have about half an inch in the middle. Can you see? So I'm going to turn this over to the wrong side and try as much as I can to bring it closer for you guys to see. And then I'm going to use my chalk to make this visible a little, okay, so that we can go ahead and then open this up and turn it over to the wrong side. So remember that this is the wrong side. I'm only trying to use this side so that you'll be able to see whatever it is I'm supposed to do at the right side. Okay, so I'm going to, whatever I am supposed to do at the right side, I'm going to use the wrong side to indicate it, because the welt strip and the pocket bag is kind of obstructing it. You might not be able to see clearly what I'm supposed to do. So after I made this line visible, from that 5 inches mark, I'm going to go in by half an inch on both sides, which is what I'm doing. And from that line, I'm going to draw in like a triangular shape, okay, which is going to be my guide as how I'm going to snip through this. Okay, so I'm going to bring in my seam ripper. So what I have on my hand right now is my seam ripper, and I'm going to snip through with my seam ripper, and then keep this my seam ripper aside and finish up with my scissors. So I'm going to cut through like this. Can you see? I'm checking to make sure that I'm cutting this in the middle. Okay, you guys, you need to check this properly well, because if you mistakenly cut out the seam, you're not going to have anywhere to join your pocket bag into. Okay, so I'm going to make sure that I have the middle line, and I will go ahead and continue cutting this. And once I get to that half an inch, I'm going to cut in diagonally, okay, so that I'll bring out the shape of that triangle. So I've cut the first side, and you guys, if you're cutting this, ensure that you are not exceeding the 5 inches mark that you have on the fabric. Okay, that is exactly where you stopped your stitches. That is where you're going to stop. Don't exceed it. If you exceed that by mistake, you have totally destroyed this your welt pocket. Okay, so you guys, now that I'm done, what I'm going to do next is to go ahead and flip this over to the wrong side. Okay, so you guys knew that when we were sewing this, it was right side facing each other. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and flip this over to the wrong side. Can you see? So can you see what I have right now? And then I'm going to turn over like this, and you can see that my pocket strip is already covering the hole that I created right there. Okay, so what I'm going to do next is to ensure that I bring out the triangular shape, and then I'm going to hold it in with the strip, that is the welt strip, I'm going to hold it together and then go ahead and stitch this down. Okay, so just like I'm showing you right now, I'm going to stitch it, and can you see how neat this is looking? I'm going to turn this over and show you what it looks like. So you guys, can you see what we have there? I made sure that I use this pink thread so that it will be visible enough for you to see what I stitched right there. Okay, so now that we have this, it's time for us to stitch our pocket bag, okay, into the seam allowance of the strip. So what you're going to do is to make sure that the right side of the pocket bag is facing the wrong part of your dress or your jacket, whichever it is. Okay, and then you go ahead and sew this into the seam that you have right on the welt strip. Okay, that is the seam that you took in. Okay, so can you see, this is the way I'm going to join it together, and I'll finish up the remaining side of the pocket. Now I'm going to carve this into a pocket because I need it to look like a pocket in there. Okay, but if you want, you can leave it squared like this, but for me, I went ahead to shape it out properly well. And you guys, that would be all for our tutorial. Okay, so this is what we have. I believe this tutorial was helpful. So you guys, if you enjoyed this tutorial, please do make sure to give this video a thumbs up. I will go ahead and use my serger to weave around these pockets. Can you see what I'm cutting out right now? So this is the shape of the pocket inside, but if you want, you can actually leave it in a squared form just like it was previously. So you guys, this would bring us to the end of this tutorial. I'll definitely see you in my next one. Give this a thumbs up if you love this, and bye bye for now.